We got some Pro Bowl recap. Anyway, go ahead.
Fuck a Pro Bowl recap. Why do you have a Pro Bowl recap?
Hey, they announced the Pro Bowl selections.
Yeah, nobody gives a fuck about the Pro Bowl.
I mean, it's great honors, absolutely. I'll give it to the players for Pro Bowl.
That's I was going to make a joke out of it. But, all right. Fuck, that joke's terrible. Scrap that joke.
I didn't hear the joke.
I heard it in my mind.
Right, it was funny up here.
It sucked. I thought about it all day, and when I said it sucked.
What's going on?
You just do it when you feel it, huh? All right, come on. I'm sorry.
What's going on, everybody? B-Sky here with
G.O.D.
And
Third Wheel.
And on today's show, we got the Super Bowl preview. Kansas City Chiefs playing the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in what should be an outstanding football game.
Very outstanding football game. You got the new GOAT versus the old GOAT. You know, one football game decides it all. 20 weeks later, after the COVID, after the quarantine, and everything else, we are at home for Tampa Bay at Raymond J. Stadium. So let's get right off into it. You know what it is.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the First Four Downs. It's Super Bowl week. But, hey, did you guys see the Pro Bowl?
No.
Yeah, me neither.
No, nobody watched
it. I didn't even know they played it.
Hey, you know what? They probably did on Madden or something somewhere. But that's all right. It's the Super Bowl week. We got Kansas City
That's probably
Chiefs.
about the best use of the Pro Bowl is like the Madden games. Like you can actually play the Pro Bowl teams.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's probably about the best use of the Pro Bowl at all.
Those players play each other.
Yeah, it makes me not even have to trade all the players to my team.
Right?
All right.
Yeah.
But anyway, Super Bowl week.
Sucks.
Kansas City Chiefs on the road. Tampa Bay Bucks. We're going to jump right into it. But first, don't forget, like the video, subscribe, share, thumb bell, all that good stuff.
Go ahead and thumb it.
I'm telling you, thumb it up.
That's my favorite part.
We're also on Apple Podcasts, Spotify. You know what I mean? So definitely follow us there if that's your platform. So we're going to jump right into the game. Kansas City on the road. Playing the Tampa Bay Bucks.
Yeah.
Kansas City.
Kansas City.
Kansas City.
That's all right.
Kansas City.
We can throw the winners and losers out there, absolutely. We're going to have our own final scores or understandings, but who's going to win the game?
There's a lot of things to tell who can win this game. I think, honestly, I think it's going to be a close game. But, I mean, there are some factors in this game that makes me push more towards Tampa Bay. You know what I mean? First of all, you know, through this COVID situation that we have, it's been very unique through the season.
Yeah.
And we've gotten through it. We at first, we didn't even know, you know what I mean, in the offseason, we were telling people to adjust league lineups to where, like, you know what I'm saying, even if it goes 6 games, you can still crown a champion.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying, at that point, you know what I mean? So we got through the whole season. And, you know, now we're at the Super Bowl. And this is a very unique one. You got Brady at home, like no quarterback, and you give it to Brady like at home in the Super Bowl. It's like it's just a crazy situation, right? And knowing that media day was all on Zoom or whatever, you know what I'm saying. So Kansas City can't even fly out to Tampa Bay on the regular practice thing, which they usually do.
Yeah,
they're flying out on Saturday, so you know what I mean, the day before the game, and we seen that the barber on Kansas City got popped for COVID or whatever.
Yeah,
and
he was supposed to cut Patrick Mahomes' hair, and 20 other players literally was supposed to cut their hair and test positive like the day before.
Yeah, and I guess like one of the O-linemen like got up like mid haircut, and you know what I'm saying? It's like he tested positive. So that's extremely crazy, and it just like details the climate that we've been in this season. But given that they're being at home, that does play a big factor in this. There's supposed to be a huge inclination with the weather. It's supposed to be raining in this game, so that would benefit the defense, in my opinion. And that speed of Tyreek Hill can be reduced a little bit. Now, given earlier in the season in Week 12, Tyreek Hill burned them up. He was on pace for damn near 1,200 yards in the first quarter. You know
Unreal.
What I mean? So, you know, that's a different thing. But I think that Todd Bowles will be able to manage that. And we've seen it in that game, right? We've seen in the second half, they played him a little bit different. They made the adjustments, and that's what it was. And I think in this game, going into it, game planning, they will be able to have that kind of adjustment to slow down the offense. There's a lot of things that say that Tampa Bay can Kansas City can win this game, but you forget they did not cover in the last 8 games of the season. And most of the games this year, 10 games was one-score games. They got beat by the Las Vegas Raiders, by the way.
Yeah.
So, Tampa, the way they've been playing since after that beat in Week 12 against Kansas City, when they went on bye Week 13, they've been a whole different football team. So, I don't know. I got Kansas City very close to winning this game, but I think Tampa Bay edges it out. What do you got for it?
I'll tell you what. I got to take Kansas City, but to be 100% honest, the offensive line's the biggest question mark.
Yes.
You got 2 tackles out for Patrick Mahomes. That's huge. The backup center, we got put on the COVID list. He might not play in the game. That's also a precautionary. You never know. Things happen.
Did he get a haircut?
Possibly. But somewhere. I'm telling you, the offensive line is the scariest part. Tampa's front's been playing great. Their defense as a whole throughout the playoffs has played outstanding. In the last 7 games, they've given up 21 points on average. I got the stat right here. It's pretty crazy. They've only had 5 turnovers on offense, so it's huge. 12 turnovers for the defense. Big plus right there. +7 in the turnover department. 19 sacks over that 7-game span, like you were talking about from the bye week. So they've been playing great football.
Yeah.
Tom Brady and the Bucks averaging 34 points per game.
Yeah.
Kansas City defense
put up 30 points in all playoff games.
Yeah, absolutely. Kansas City defense, it's all right. I'm not going to sit here and say that it's above average or great. It's okay.
Yeah.
It's not.
They're nothing to be afraid about, but they're no scrubs.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
So, are they going to be able to stop Tom Brady? Not necessarily. If they can get the pressure with Chris Jones, those guys show up in big games. You saw last week against Josh Allen, 5 sacks. You know what I mean? So it's like if those guys show up, Brady under pressure, it's shown in the losses this season.
Yes.
5 losses. He's been sacked on average nearly 3 times every single loss, turning the ball over too.
Yeah.
So, and he has not been turning the ball over as of late. They've been on the dominant hot stretch. 5 turnovers, like I said, but 3 of them to Green Bay last week. That's kind of arguable that some of those.
I feel like we should coin that as Brady punts.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because he's throwing them in good field position for his team. You know what I'm saying? And I really feel like it's just like, you got Mike Evans leading the league in air yards. You just want to throw it up to him. However, Mike Evans is not looking for the football.
Yeah.
So, you know what I mean? Honestly, it saves time or whatever, you know what I'm saying? And you get him a little bit past the 20 or whatever in that area. So he's just throwing them up there, you know what I'm saying? Which is, like, excusable in my opinion, given that the rest of the game, you're pretty much making the right decision for your football team and advancing the ball where you should be advancing it. In this game, though, particularly, I feel like Tampa Bay has an advantage, knowing that Kansas City struggles against slot receivers. They also struggle against interior tight ends. What I mean by that is tight ends that line up on the line instead of being lined up outside the line in the slot. Yeah. You know what I mean? I think, and you look back into the Week 12 matchup, Gronk had the best game of the season in that game. You know what I mean? So, and, I think you will see the same here, knowing that Kansas City is the worst against pass catching running backs. Also, Kansas City, between the 30s, you know what I'm saying? They give up 5.4 yards per carry to the running back position. I think that they can eat them up in the slow game and eat up the clock a little bit. And I'm telling you, open that up like early on and have those pro sets and have those safeties up high. They can control this game easily. They can score at will against this Kansas City defense. And I think that's what you're going to see. I think Todd Bowles can stop Mahomes at a certain point. You know what I mean? That 4 defensive linemen. You look at Brady you look at that defensive line last week. 0 rushes against the quarterback, and they got 5 sacks on Brady, which was an outstanding offense, supposedly. Devontae Adams was supposed to be world beaten.
Yeah.
Aaron Jones, they supposed to be guys that you cannot stop.
Yeah.
The cold weather, the snow, that didn't happen. What we've seen is that top 4 defensive linemen dominate this game. And what was significant about that game was that Bakhtiari was out of that game again. Well, Fisher is out of this game. He tore his Achilles in the AFC Championship game. They've been out with Schwartz for a couple of weeks now. You know what I mean? So now you got the backup right tackle playing left tackle, which he's never played a snap in his professional career.
Yeah.
This is going to be a problem guarding Jason Pierre-Paul on the edge, and you got Shaq Barrett on the other edge. Then you got Ndamukong Suh in the middle. You know what I'm saying? Vita Vea is back.
Yep.
This is going to be hard, knowing that you have probably the two best, fastest linebackers in the game.
Yep.
And Devin White and Levante David, who's combined for almost 50 tackles just in the postseason right now. So, this is going to be hard. I think that the Kansas City is going to come out and try to run the ball a little bit and do a little bit of short passes, what you've seen like in the San Francisco game last year in the Super Bowl, which Mahomes struggled. You know what I'm saying? They have to mix it up and, get those short passes involved and set up those deep balls for the auxiliary pass catching threats. You know what I'm saying? And Watkins and McCole Hardman and those guys.
Yeah. There will.
Yeah, I got Kansas City 31-27. I think in the fourth quarter, you'll probably see Tampa Bay ahead. But I give the end to Mahomes. I think he wins this in the end.
Well, if you're thinking to go, I honestly feel like in the fourth quarter, you can't give that ball. You can't give the lead or, expectation to anybody other than Brady. Period. I know Mahomes can do what he do, but Brady has done this just period in his career. You know what I'm saying? So, I don't know. Can he outduel Brady? Yes, he can on stats. But they don't have to blitz nobody to get at this guy.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? The offensive line is just terrible right now. And that's what it is. I think that's going to be a big factor in this game. And can they overcome it? Who's to say?
Well, I'll tell you right now, Kansas City. I know they have 2 losses, but one of them I would discount because none of the starters played. So essentially in the one loss they have against the Oakland Raiders, right? Oakland Raiders offense played.
The Las Vegas Raiders.
Las Vegas Raiders.
You got to put your pinky up to say that one.
You're right. Las Vegas
really
Raiders.
Fancy.
Anyway, Las Vegas Raiders.
They still suck.
Their offense played outstanding in that game. It's a rivalry game, absolutely. They played a very sound football game to score enough points against Kansas City Chiefs.
That quarterback was David Carr.
Derek Carr.
Whatever the fuck. One of the Carrs, right? It's not Tom Brady.
No, yeah, absolutely. I'm not saying that. What I'm getting at is Patrick Mahomes in that game was pressured on 42% of his dropbacks. Nearly half his dropbacks, he was pressured. And Mahomes is great under pressure for the most part. But for that much pressure, because that's a lot higher than most people get at anyway in any NFL game. So 42% pressure, that's a lot. You saw last year in the Super Bowl, Mahomes struggled against the 49ers, same defensive front in which they rushed 4 passers. They didn't have to blitz, and they got to him a lot. Without those tackles, it's going to be very tough. Those balls are going to have to come out fast, and they're going to have to really utilize their yards after catch, in my opinion, in this game a lot. They do got speed receivers and guys that can do it. McCole Hardman, Tyreek Hill, those guys can take it to the house.
Yeah.
So it's definitely an option there.
And hopefully for Kansas City, the weather does not play a factor. Or hopefully it does not rain, because otherwise I feel like, that speed of Tyreek Hill, the speed of McCole Hardman, is not going to be very effective as far as the deep ball. Mahomes and Andy Reid, they can go deep at any point in the game. But if this is a rain game, this is going to be a very hard thing to, really do.
Yeah. It's going to be tough. I mean, can they stop Travis Kelce, though? I don't think anybody can stop Travis Kelce.
I think with Travis Kelce, what you have to do with Travis Kelce is just maintain the yak. You know what I'm saying? He's going to catch the ball, period. Just tackle him.
Yeah.
Get a good tackle. You know what I'm saying? Don't let him get 20 more extra yards on you. Yeah. You know what I mean? If they can do that, I think they can control this game versus Kansas City fairly well. You know what I'm saying?
But if it's a sloppy, messy mud bowl, then the speed of Devin White and Levante David ain't going to be a matter much either.
No, it is. It's going to be a lot.
How? They're going to be in the mud the same way as every other speed person out there.
Yeah, but they're not running routes.
Yeah, defense is a lot different because you're essentially routes. You got to kind of get your footing. Defense is you maintain your footing and you burst to the spot.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. So it's a little different.
How do you burst in mud?
Well, I mean, you got to think
you're keeping everything ahead of you. You know what I'm saying? You're not trying to gain. So it's like, I feel like they can do that easily in any kind of weather. They did it against the Green Bay Packers in the snow. It just shows it is what it is. You know what I'm saying?
I'm just saying
I feel like the MVP in this game. You look at Kansas City. They're giving up damn near 5 yards of carry all across the field.
Yeah.
I feel like Leonard Fournette is going to be the MVP in this game. I think they could drive this ball with Fournette. Even you even look at Rojo. You know what I'm saying? The more explosive player in that game on that team, you know what I'm saying, at the running back position, he can come in and mix it up. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. They're the very worst against pass catching running backs. And the thing about we got to see playoff Lenny, right? He has to catch these balls. Period. You know what I'm saying? You can't just have these drops. You can't have none of that. And you know, I think, dude, I'm telling you, I think Tampa Bay has his game.
Yeah, you know what? I definitely think I definitely think it's going to be closer than a lot of people think. For everybody to be throwing their money on Kansas City is pretty crazy. Don't get me wrong; they're the Super Bowl champs. We talked about it.
I think they fan favorites.
I mean,
you know?
yeah, but think about it. We talked about it. They look bad in the last 10 weeks, but yet guess what? They keep on winning.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? They find ways to win. They make it happen.
And so does the GOAT.
He does. I mean, that's essentially why he's the GOAT. I mean, I would argue he's the greatest. Like, to throw the football, I would argue not necessarily, but as a winning quarterback, no one's better.
I personally remember
no one wins more than that guy.
I personally remember seeing the Patriots multiple years actually look crappy halfway through seasons a lot of times, and then still pulling it out in the end.
I will throw this out there. Steve Spagnuolo, defense coordinator.
Well, I've also seen the Patriots lose Super Bowls.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Two defensive fronts like this Tampa Bay front. So, you know, it is what it is.
Steve Spagnuolo?
Yeah.
You know, the defensive coordinator for the New York Football Giants when they beat the undefeated Patriots in the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's the defense coordinator for Kansas City Chiefs, albeit the defense is a little different. They obviously don't have the elite defensive line like that Giants team did, but he's played Brady a few times, especially in the Super Bowl. So it's going to be an exciting game. Absolutely.
Yep.
I got to take.
Are one of those Giants on the other side? Pierre Paul?
Yeah, he is. Exactly. Yeah. Maybe inside out. Maybe he'll understand the defense a little better. That's a Steve Spagnuolo might have a little insight. But
I don't know if he can count past 8.
I mean, he can.
I mean, it's not the 4th of July, so
yeah.
It is what it is.
Hey, it's all right. I got the Kansas City Chiefs winning the football game. I want to say 26, but I think they're going to score 3 touchdowns, maybe 2 field goals. So I'm going to say 27-24. It's going to be a push on the spread at the -3. Maybe buy some points or something like that. Maybe it changes. And I think it's going to be under. It's shocking because this game should probably be over. You got 2 top 5 offenses, really. But I'm going to say this game's going to go under at 27-24.
I think this game is going to be over. You look at the red zone on both teams. You know what I'm saying?
Not great.
Tampa Bay's red zone defense, they give up 111 rating to the quarterback position. Kansas City's give up 127 rating to the quarterback position. So, you know what? I feel like once they get in there and these tight ends that are going to be utilized, you've seen Gronk, as I said, have the best game of the season against this same team. You know what I mean? And Brady's been coming on in the postseason. You got Leonard Fournette, who's been beasting all year, leads all running backs. Leads all running backs in the postseason. You know, and you got Mike Evans since 2016. Like I said, he's led in the red zone period of all wide receivers. I mean, I feel like this game is going to be over the 56, and I feel like Tampa is going to win this game.
Okay.
I got a final score of 34-31, Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Okay. Just a little quick thing. Kansas City, worst red zone defense in the NFL. Touchdown rating, what is that, 70?
And worst against the tight ends.
That's what I'm saying, 76%.
In the red zone.
They give up almost 77% touchdown rate in the red zone. Kansas City does. By far the worst. But last week against Buffalo, they held them some field goals in the red zone, and that was the difference maker in the game, realistically, I think.
Well, that's a different scenario because I feel like Buffalo doesn't have anything to keep the offense
in the red zone.
You know what I'm saying? They don't have
They
have no running backs. They don't really have a tight end. Darwin Knox is not really making plays right now.
He's all right.
John Brown and Cole Beasley. Beasley was obviously banged up. You know, all you have is
playing with a broken
Diggs.
leg.
You know what I mean? So, I mean, you know, that's just a little bit different scenario to me.
Yeah, of course. Compared to the Tampa Bay Bucs.
Yeah, this Tampa team is a different monster.
Yep. I think it's going to come down, minimize the mistakes.
Yes.
If the offensive line can cause enough pressure to Patrick Mahomes where he ain't got time to do nothing, which is an absolute possibility.
2 pros here, you know what I'm saying? This ain't Brady against a backup quarterback in Nick Foles. This ain't, the Atlanta Falcons who just completely destroyed their chances to win in the second half.
Yeah.
This ain't Jimmy Garoppolo in the Super Bowl. This is Tom Brady. This is Tampa Bay Bucs. This is Mike Evans, AB, Chris Godwin, Gronkowski, Bray, Leonard Fournette. I mean, this is explosion. Yeah. This is fireworks. So, I mean, let's watch it go.
One big Hartman return could be the difference in this game, honestly.
It could be. I think special teams could
one big hard return.
It's weird
because I do think it's going to be close. And I'm saying one good special teams play could be with the Super Bowl.
With the Super Bowl, there's always some weird special teams play that happens. One thing that kind of turns the tide. It happens pretty often. Whether it be a weird onside.
And Harmon's that type of guy. He's got that type of speed. So.
Okay, we're split on it.
Yeah.
I mean, you got to ride Tampa Bay either way.
Tampa Bay. I called it. I mean, you know what? It's crazy that we called it in the offseason. I had 50 touchdowns for Tom Brady. He had 40. I mean, who else had 40, though? You know what I'm saying? I mean, people that are saying that he has lost a step or he is in a decline, how can you tell that he threw 40 touchdowns this year? Yeah. I mean, it's incredible to see. I'm just happy to see this game. You got GOAT versus new GOAT.
The baby goat.
Man, it is what it is. Yeah, baby goat. Let's go, man.
Yeah,
it's gonna be a good one. Is there a way for Kansas City to win this game? Of course. I feel like Kansas City can win this game, but I ultimately think that front four for Tampa, just the way you see San Francisco last year. You know what I'm saying? Partly some of the same things was happening on the offensive line, but these tackles weren't out like that. You know what I mean? So it's gonna be a tough one. You know what I mean? Like it really is. It's gonna be a fun one to see. Yeah, that's what I got. 34-31, Tampa Bay Buccaneers, 7.
All right. And you got Kansas City.
Kansas City, 31-27.
31-27. I'm going under. I'm the only one on the under train, which is pretty crazy considering you got 2 top 5 offenses, like I said. But 27-24, Kansas City.
Okay.
That's the final score. So that's been the Super Bowl preview for us right here at the First 4 Downs.
Yeah.
So for B. Scott,
G.O.D.
and
Greg Wood,
we out.
Yeah.